Bryce Young. Hurts 14 of 21 for 108 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. They were nice throws. The one to Devontae Smith, I mean, he had to go all the way across the field. That's a really tough throw to make. 110.8 rating, 61 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown. So 3 total touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. He got one on the push. And then Young, a 1 TD, 1 pick by CJ. The rating 69.6, 29 rushing yards, and 0 rushing touchdowns. And this is where you talk about your former colleague Mike Schmidt, the great Mike Schmidt, who said Philadelphia is a city where you can experience the thrill of victory and the agony of reading about it the next day. And here's where the agony comes in. We nitpick this stuff, and I think understandably so. They do have 11 wins. That's great. They have won 9 in a row. That's great. But the fact of the matter is, when you talk about the quarterback, and everyone says leave him alone, and Nick Sirianni says he's an MVP contender as well. You compare him to Saquon Barkley. It's 2 different.
They play different positions.
I understand that. I'm talking about their value to the team.
I don't know. If you watch that game and think he was the problem, I mean, he wasn't perfect. He took a couple sacks I didn't like, but he's not the problem, Michael.
What's the problem?
I mean, I think we talked about the O-line wasn't great. The D-line didn't have a good day. They missed a lot of tackles. They gave up some big plays on 4th down to Thielen, who's 50 years old. I mean, go right down. They weren't physical. They got out-physicaled by a 3.
held them to 16 points.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know that this...
But what? They held them to 16 points. That's the bottom line.
They didn't punt after their second drive, Michael. They were moving the ball all day. The defense made some good plays at big points.
But they punted 3
times. But you can't say the defense played great and then rip on Jalen, who had 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and managed the game to a win, completed 67% of his passes, and has thrown 1 interception since week 3.
Very good. He protected the ball. I like
So there's just a different standard. It's like the defense is great, even though they got gashed for a lot of the game. But Jalen's terrible because he took a sack.
I said don't, and I'm not saying you did. Don't give me the MVP stuff.
I didn't say anything about MVP. I said he was fine.
He
was fine today.
Oh, yeah. But
he was fine today.
But fine is not acceptable.
It was good enough today.
MVP.
I would agree with
you. It was good enough today.
He's got more talent to play at this level. He can play better.
Totally agree.
He left plays on the field. There's no question that. But he also made some unbelievable plays. I thought a couple of throws that he made were both touchdown passes, were outstanding throws. Progression reading. I thought he missed A.J. on the first one on a quick slant to his left and waited for Devontae to come across the field, and he did, and he hit him. Calcaterra's throw was outstanding. He made some great runs. He did what he had to do to win the football game. And that's the barometer for a quarterback. I can find fault in every single player, every single game, every single time they go on the field. But at the end of the day, if you win, you get a day. You get a day. I'm doing my report card now.
I'm interested to see Professor Frank.
I filled it out for him.
I'm interested to see their quarterback grades. You got to stick around for that later in the program.
What did I give? What did I give, Jay?
You better run and get it. Yeah, go ahead.
But what happened all the times? What happened all the offensive plays where we were going under the center? We go under center, and what does that do? It makes that defense go out and at least focus on the run. That way, if you do run a play action, you can go over the top because those linebackers have to respect that you're under center. I didn't see a lot of that, so you got to look at more as far as the play calling. Them calling plays where, they're having linemen pull across the formation. Once he gets across the formation, that linebacker comes and nobody gets off on the inside. Those are little things that we hadn't seen before, maybe a little different, a touch of something different. But, I mean, with the 32nd ranked rushing defense, we're playing against them. I just expected more from the running back position as far as volume, as far as going out there and really dictating tempo, running the ball. We just didn't do it as much.
Also,
in the first half, rather.
You know how you want to have no worries about what they're going to do at the end of the game? Control the ball more. They had the ball 33 minutes, 33 seconds, and the Eagles had it 26 minutes, 27 seconds. And if you give the ball, it's Chuba Hubbard. It's also give it, I don't care. Remember those Andy Reid days where he'd throw the ball 60-40, 70-30s, or 65-35?
Right.
They should have had one of those today in favor of the run. They should have run that thing against the worst defense You know, and it says right here it wouldn't have been as close. It wouldn't have
Well,
been
they're
as
also the
troublesome.
worst pass defense. So, I mean, you can do a lot of things. I just thought Kellen Moore didn't do a great job getting the offense into a rhythm, running and passing the ball. You got to do both to win. And it wasn't helped by, like, some early penalties. They commit a lot of penalties early in games.
As soon as I said that,
the
the offensive line hasn't been penalized, what happens today?
Lane got that was a bad. That was, wiped out a big play.
By the way, it was 31 rush attempts to 21 pass attempts. So I would like about 10 more. I mean, that is an imbalance. I'll give you that. I would have still gone more.
But see, it's play calling. You got to get into a rhythm, play calling. That way your offense is on the field longer than your defense. We gave Man some work today, especially in the first half. He was punting all day, you know.
They didn't have a lot of plays. I think they ran 56 plays on offense.
So, I mean, that just comes with you not controlling the clock. Yeah. Not getting into a rhythm, not getting the clock going. You're not controlling the clock. Having our defense out there a long time, you know. I mean, it's just a lot of factors just made this a quirky game. I'm like, I just couldn't get into it.
My complaint is this first quarter non-scoring ability of the Eagles right now. I mean, they got to find a way. I know these coaches, they spend hours breaking tape down, studying tendencies, doing all the work that comes in there. And yet we can't score in the first quarter of a football game. What are they doing?
Yeah, 17
I'm questioning them. Or 17 points.
13 games, 17 points in all the first quarters. But guess what? They're scoring about 26 points in the quarters 2 through 4. And that isn't bad.
Well, that's get this defense playing with the lead early in the game. May change things a little bit too.
It's just hard to take command of a game when you're fighting from behind all the time. They've done it at times. They did it last week.
9-0, come back and win.
Yeah. I have one of your favorites standing by right now. He's a guy who broke up the final pass. They call him Darius Slay.
Slay.
Did his job, man. Came in and played fast, played physical. We trust everybody in this room, man. When I went down, Isaiah stepped up. So he go down. Tristan, so he stepped up. So it's a great thing by our group, man. We got a strong group that's got a lot of talent in that room, man. So we got guys that's very versatile that can switch positions and play anywhere. So that's a good thing about our group, man. That's what makes us special.
When Nick decides to punt there, what does that say to you?
Oh yeah, we told him that's what we did. We about playing ball, we're in it, So we've been playing great defense, man. We should have played a lot more better, playing the ball, but but at the end of the day, we do want that pressure on the defense, So I know the offense, they do a great job at doing what they do, but we want to like the end games. So I know Coach like the end of the games in the offensive hands, but he believed that we could do it as well.
And you heard Slay say that when it came to punting the ball or trying the field goal or go for on 4th and 8, it was 4th and 8, that he's like, oh yeah, we said let's punt it, let's pin them back, and we'll be okay.
Trust the defense.
Yeah, well, I mean that was Harry.
Too.
Trust the punter as well, but there is an issue with Jake Elliott, and he is a fan favorite. He has been a great kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he has struggled big time this season. I don't know if there's an injury. Nothing has been said.
He's fine.
Of any. Okay, so he's fine. But there was a cutaway shot of him warming up on the sideline, and there was a big exhale, like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah, and I thought that's not a good sign. I don't know if Nick Sirianni saw that, but if he did, let's punt it.
They're just not allowed to have the yips. He's not allowed to have the yips. He's not allowed to miss field goals, and that's basically what it is.
That dude is so mentally strong.
Yeah.
When you think about what he did in the Super Bowl, I mean, he was a rookie. He was 23 years old. He makes a 42-yarder and a 46-yarder in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Of a close game.
Well, he got our season going. Remember, he kicked the 62-yarder
against the Giants.
61 second NFL game he did that. So I feel like they're best.
You've been around this team for how many years?
Paul McFadden.
Okay, how many years you've been around it? And kickers. They're nuts.
They are.
I was a holder for 15 years. I'd look in their eyes and sometimes, there's no way he's making this kick.
Jaws had a teammate, Paul McFadden was the most accurate kicker in NFL history after his first 2 seasons. Also from Youngstown State, I believe.
Yep, you're correct.
Then couldn't make a kick his 3rd year, and he was out of the league in his 4th year.
They're all whack jobs, and once they lose their rhythm, you can't count. Oh boy, we're in trouble now. Like you said, maybe Nick saw him look at punting team. You can tell in someone's eyes.
It was not a comfortable moment if you saw that. This is a guy battling himself, and
I thought it was a movie he had to make. In that situation, I never thought I'd find myself saying that. He had to do it.
But it happens sometimes. Like I had a kicker where he literally, and I counted one time, he literally tied his shoe, his cleat, untied his cleat 56 times. Untied it, tied it back up, untied on the bench during the game, tied it, untied it, tied it, untied it.
Why were you counting?
Because I was sitting there watching. Like,
defense was out
why
there.
are you doing that? What are you doing?
I'm with Rue. What are you
48?
Did you have anything else to do?
49?
Tied his shoe.
50?
Look, our dear friend, the late great Tom Brookshire, used to say kickers drive around in a Volkswagen minivan with a bunch of balls in the back going from camp to camp trying to make a team. And that's what happened with Jake Elliott. And he made the Philadelphia Eagles team. And now...
Well, he was with the Bengals and he was here. But, I mean, he's been here so long. He's been so steady, so consistent.
Spectacular.
I think your best bet going into the postseason is Jake Elliott. Yep. Not saying I wouldn't bring in some guys to take a look at him.
All right. Who's the defensive player of the day?
You know, I thought Zach Bond was really good. CJ.
That's it. Stop right there.
CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Zach Bond, post-game in the locker room. You nailed it.
Yeah, it's obviously nice to have him in there, a guy that's played a lot of snaps this year and some consistency there. And then, but if a guy goes down in this defense, it's next man up mentality, and we don't expect a dip if a guy goes down.
Bryce Young was able to kind of create stuff off schedule. How trying was that in this game for you guys?
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row with scrambling quarterbacks, just plastering to our guys playing that second play kind of after he gets out of the pocket, and I think we got to do a better job of that.
I don't know if you saw how far Slay had a cover on that last PBU. Did you get a good look at it?
Yeah, I was on the other side of the field as him. I'm like, what is he doing all the way over there? Again, that's just plastering to a guy. He's finding open guys that might be open and trying to make a play.
What did you think of the decision that kind of put the game on you guys when you punted?
Hey, Eagles fans. Welcome back to Eagles Nest News. In today's video, we've got some exciting updates about none other than Saquon Barkley, who's rewriting the record books in his first season with the Philadelphia Eagles. With the incredible season he's having, it's clear that he's not only making history for the Eagles, but also making a run at NFL history. Will he break LeSean McCoy's franchise rushing record? And could he possibly take down Eric Dickerson's legendary single-season rushing record? Let's dive into the stats, the challenges, and the historic journey that Saquon Barkley is on. But first, if you love this kind of content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Eagles Nest News for all the latest Eagles updates. Saquon Barkley's first season with the Philadelphia Eagles has been nothing short of spectacular. With 1,499 rushing yards through just 12 games, he's closing in on LeSean McCoy's franchise record of 1,607 yards, a mark that stood since 2013. In fact, Barkley needs just 109 yards to break that record when the Eagles face the Carolina Panthers this week, who just so happen to have the worst run defense in the NFL, allowing 166.8 rushing yards per game. If there was ever a game where Barkley could make history, this is it. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Barkley is also within striking distance of a much bigger record, the NFL single-season rushing record of 2,105 yards set by Eric Dickerson in 1984. To break this record, Barkley needs to rush for an average of 121.4 yards over the remaining 5 games. Although it's a tall order, especially with strong defenses like the Pittsburgh Steelers on the horizon, Barkley has already proven he can defy expectations. He's averaging 125 yards per game, even after sitting out most of the fourth quarters in several games. The possibility of seeing Barkley break both the Eagles and NFL rushing records in the same season is becoming more and more real. Looking at the upcoming games, Week 14 against the Panthers is the most likely opportunity for Barkley to break McCoy's record. Given the Panthers' weak defense, he might not need to play the full 4 quarters to rack up the yards. Then, in Week 15, Barkley faces his toughest challenge of the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers, with their elite run defense. But if anyone can break through, it's Saquon Barkley. After that, the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys should provide more opportunities for big performances, and in Week 18, Barkley could cap off his historic season against his former team, the New York Giants. The Eagles' offensive line, led by stars like Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson, has been key to Barkley's success. The offensive line has been dominating at the line of scrimmage, allowing Barkley to make explosive runs week after week. The balance in the offense has also helped keep him fresh and ready for the critical moments that matter most. As Saquon Barkley continues to chase both the Eagles' rushing record and the NFL single-season rushing record, all eyes are on him. His incredible talent, work ethic, and the support from the Eagles' offense have made this one of the most exciting seasons for an Eagles player in recent memory. Even if Barkley doesn't break the NFL record, his 2024 season will go down as one of the greatest in league history, and he's still setting himself up for a historic playoff run with the Eagles. So, Eagles fans, what do you think? Will Barkley break McCoy's franchise record this week against the Panthers? And do you think he has what it takes to surpass Eric Dickerson's record by the end of the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Eagles Nest News content. Let's keep this Eagles journey going strong. See you next time.